This roof is disgusting. We got clear coat peeling over here. We're down to the metal here and here, just naturally. And then this area here I had to fix up. Last time I had the windshield replaced because it was rusty. But now it's time to finally paint it. This is gonna go swell. Join me? Good morning, happy Saturday, welcome back to the channel. So I'm finally gonna do it. I've been putting this off for a very long time. I've had to paint, I've had everything, I haven't had the will. And now that we're in the end of summer, or really end of fall, there's very few warm days left. So I wanna get this painted, just try my best. You can always sand it down and redo it. I wanna get this painted so it's protected over the winter time. So overall what had happened here was this is just the roof of a 2000 Subaru RS. Clear coats paint is peeling up here and there. We got some visible bare metal really here and here, and then along this strip here, when they replaced this windshield the last time, there was rust like around here, so I had to sand the rust down, and I just put a couple of things of like Bondo on it, and then I covered it with a Plasti Dip. I made a strip of Plasti Dip, and it's worked. It's worked great for the past, probably 6-7 years now. But it's time to actually paint the whole roof. So let me show you the products that we're going to use, if I still have them. So other than the usual sandpaper, Bondo, various stages of sandpaper, this is the main attraction here. This is Paint Scratch. This is, the Paint Scratch is the brand. This is spray paint that they custom make for your paint color. So I put in the factory paint color of this RS, which is Red Mica Pearl 82F. I put that code in, and you can do any code you want. You can do any kind of paint you want, and they will make spray paint cans of that paint color for you. So I got 3 of these cans, which I think I should only need 1, maybe 2. We'll see. So I got 3 of these made up, and then I also have the usual 2K clear coat. This is a 2-part clear coat, so it has an applicator on the top and a puncture on the bottom. And when you're ready to use it, it's one-time use. You can't use it forever. You puncture the bottom, and then it will mix everything inside, and that's what makes it like a higher quality clear coat than just getting gloss clear coat from Home Depot or something. First we're going to sand it down. If I need to Bondo anything, I'll do that. I see there is still some tree sap that I need to get rid of, so I'll get rid of that. I got to take this seal off around the roof, so it's going to be a process. The first process is, and actually the longest process, is going to be sanding all this down, getting it cleaned up. I'll probably have to replace this seal. There's no way it's going to go back on the way it came off, because this is 20 some years old now. 20, about to be 25 years old. So there's no way this seal's in. I'm going to have a really fun time finding that probably. But first we're going to start sanding it. I'm just going to start sanding back here, just the major areas, and then once I see how everything looks, then I will try and take off this seal, sand some more, and then of course mask it off. I'm not taking off the roof. I'm not taking off the trim, because a car this old, the trim's not going to go back on. More tree sap to remove, but we're gonna get the metal exposed, see what we're working with, and then eventually we'll get to this fun part, and we'll do this in the garage. I have a feeling I'm gonna wait till about midweek, because it's supposed to be about 80 degrees this week, and I want to get the best chance of this like actually adhering and working well as I can. So let's get started. All right, start with 800 grit sandpaper. Again, this is not a tutorial. I'm not a painter. We're just trying to do this in the garage to make it look better and not rust over the winter. So start with some 800 grit just to see what happens. I know some people use a sponge because that can help you get over like curvatures and stuff. It's a roof, so it's pretty flat. So I'm just using this 3M sanding pad, and with the 800 grit. This might be a mix of wet sanding. I'm going to use the alcohol to clean off the sanding pad every once in a while, getting all that grit off of there. All right, I've had enough of this. It's time for the heavy equipment. We're getting the belt sander out. I'm just kidding. We're not gonna use the belt sander. That would be irresponsible. We're just gonna use the old palm sander and speed up this process a little bit. Same thing, 800 grit. Day 2 here. Day 2 of probably a lot more weekend projects. Well, mainly because it's been chilly and I haven't been wanting to be out here. Did some more sanding. I removed the seal around the sunroof here. I am putting this masking stuff on around the car. Not for paint, because it ain't time for that. But I want to get it protected, so when I start putting like the base coat and the sandable primer on, I'm not getting it everywhere. So I'm just trying to get this whole area cleaned up so I don't make a bigger mess by not wanting to do it later. And some might say, well, you could have just taken it to Mako if you're doing it that cheaply. But I've wanted to learn how to do regular painting. Now normally this stuff dries in like 20 minutes, an hour, but it's not so warm today. So I'm just gonna let this sit, come back maybe later today, tomorrow, start sanding it down and getting it nice and level, nice and smooth, probably with the 800 grit, and then I don't think it's ready for 1000 grit, but we'll see. We'll see what happens when we send it down. This will let me see if there's any spots I need to actually fill with Bondo, or fill with the really thin skim filler. And again, this is a garage paint job. It's not going to be perfect. I want it to be good from 10 feet away. It is just the roof, but I don't want the paint to be peeling and then cause other issues from paint peeling. So this is just to preserve it. I'm going to get through the winter and just learn what a rattle can paint job could look like. Welcome back to the channel. I say that because I think it's been 2 to 3 weeks since I've touched this project. I think I sprayed a little bit of filler on it, but otherwise, that is the premise of the Sometimes Builds. You get started on a project, and then you got other stuff going on, you got to travel around, you don't really get back to it. So we're getting back to it now. My goal today, it was 30 some degrees this morning outside. It's about 50, about to get maybe to 60 today. I got the diesel heater running. You can probably hear that click, click, click. That's the one I installed in the window last year, or earlier this year. But my goal today is to just get this thing painted. Garage paint job, let's just get it done. So what I need to do now is I sprayed on this guide coat, which is like a light black, just to see where I've sanded and where I haven't. My goal today is to just get this as smooth as I can, and we'll put a layer of red on it and we'll see what happens. You can see I have the diesel heater up all the way. I need to get this place toasty. It is 60 in here right now. I want to get it to at least like 70-ish before I start painting. I'm also going to take the paint I'm going to use over there inside and let it warm up a bit so it adheres as best as it can on this garage. As quick as possible paint job.
As clean as it's going to get in here. So let's see what happens. Every little minute detail shows up. That's interesting. And it's hard to hold the can straight down. I guess that's inherently a problem with rattle can, but it's the same color.
Okay, I'm not going to breathe too much of this in. It looks decent, and that was the goal.
I used 2.5 cans. I have 3 cans total. I am going to open my garage door for a second and let some
of these fumes out, and then close it again. Let it continue to get hot. Again, this wasn't meant to be perfect. Just meant to try it out. I know it's not going to be perfect.
So I'll let this dry, and I'll be back in a few.
Well, I guess, welcome back to the Sometimes Builds. It's probably been a month and a half, a holiday, a trip. A lot of stuff has happened since I have been working on this red car behind me. So I had 3 cans of red paint. That wasn't enough. Let's take a look at it. As you can see, you know, some areas don't look terrible, but it's very splotchy and the paint can dripped a little bit. You can kind of see that here, and here. It's nice and dark right here, but I didn't get an even coat. So I ordered 3 or 4 more cans, and I just need to get this done at this point. This thing has been in this garage taking up space for a month and a half, 2 months now. So right now I have, as you can probably hear, it's loud in here. I got the flamethrower running and the diesel heater in the window to try and warm this place up. It's about 20-25 degrees outside in December. It's oddly cold. But I need to have this propane going full, diesel heater going full, because we need to get this garage toasty warm. Right now the paint, or the metal on the car is really cold, so I need to get that warmed up. Then I'm probably going to break out the 2000 grit and do a little bit of wet sanding, get rid of those drops. I'm gonna let this heat up. Right now it says it's about 60 degrees, but I know that's because the heater is right above or right below the temperature gauge, so it's not really 60 on this side of the garage. So I'm gonna let both propane and diesel heater run, get this place up to a consistent 60 to 80 degrees in here. I am fully prepared to burn through this entire tank of propane today to get this done, because I want this car out of here, because I need to do oil change, front brake job, and rear hitch install on my 2020 Outback. 2 of those are going to be videos. I need to do that, but I don't want to do it outside, so we need to get this red RS done today. So see you in a bit when this place is warmed up. Okay, I have been running the propane heater. It smells like propane real bad in here right now. And the diesel heater, it is 85 degrees in here right now. This car is warm. I did wet sanding. It's all right. I put some alcohol on it to take off any grease, but honestly, all that did was take the paint off. I have 4 more cans of this. I'm using it all. We are gonna lay this on thick, and we're gonna be done with this project today. Let's get started. All right, we are back. I have 2 cans of clear. Directions said to wait an hour before applying the clear coat. I think we're good to apply the clear coat. So this is the kind of clear coat that has an activator. So you have to pop the cap and let it fly across the room. Why are all the directions in Spanish? Where's the English directions? All right, for better or worse, we're going all in on this now. I see some tiger stripes. I mean, I probably wouldn't have those tiger stripes if I wasn't using a spray can. Here we go. Well, I figure we're only gonna do this once for now. I have the can. I might as well put a second can on, give it about 10 minutes to get tacky, and then I'll throw a second can on. I mean, I got it, I might as well use it. It's definitely orange peely. I can tell that now. But again, I'm in a garage, no filtering. There's fumes everywhere right now. There's dust everywhere. So what do you expect? I think that's it. That is definitely it. So that definitely meets my standards of good enough. For a garage middle of winter paint job, good enough. We'll see what it looks like when it dries. It is 70 degrees in here and it'll probably continue to drop. It looks good for as lazily as I did it in a garage with no filtering and rattle can spray paint. I think it was pretty good. We'll have to check it out in the morning. Actually, let's walk over here and take a look at it. And I'm not wearing the right mask, I know. I mean, for what it is, yes, there's some trash in there. Some, by some, I mean a lot. But way better than it was in the beginning of this video. With it wet like this, I'm happy. Let's see what it looks like when it dries. See you tomorrow morning. All right, welcome to 3 a.m. Yeah. 3 a.m. the next day. I kept worrying that it might get too cold in here. It's about 45, 50 degrees in here right now. And, ooh, that got lucky. Got real lucky. This thing blew up and it was just barely on the corner, not touching it. So this is what it looks like the next morning. I'm gonna get this garage heated up again. I need to get all this masking off. So, great, now the roof is gonna look better than the rest of the car. Better with all that trash on it, but still. I'm gonna get the flamethrower running again, diesel heater running again, get this place warm for the next, until the propane runs out. I wanna keep it warm in here so that bakes on really well. Time for the great peel. And hopefully we don't take off. I should have peeled this when it was still wet. Hopefully I don't take off anything on there. Garage paint job with rattle cans. One of my thoughts. It's good. It's good. I like it. There's trash in the paint, yeah. There's paint lines or tape lines from where I took the tape off here and I didn't mask it off perfectly. Yeah, there is. Did I learn a lot? Yeah, and that's really all that I wanted to do. Am I upset at the color difference? Yeah, it's all right. I mean, this I think this will come around a little bit once I actually clean it and wax it. How can you compare 25-year-old paint with brand new paint? It's never going to be the same unless you perfectly match it to the tint it is now. That wasn't the intention. The intention was to get everything the same color again and stop the rust. And that's one of the points I want to make. Older cars like this, any car, it doesn't have to be a Subaru, if rust starts to build, if this kind of stuff goes neglected, that's a death sentence for a car. This keeps the car going. It keeps the car on the road. You don't want rust anywhere in it to just start building up, and then you got a hole in the side of the car, hole in the roof, and it starts leaking, and the floor gets rotten, and it's a whole downward spiral from there. This keeps it going. This allows it to potentially have a longer life. You don't learn anything if you don't try anything. So yeah, I'm not a painter. It's not perfect. I definitely see that, but I learned a lot, and I wouldn't have learned this if I had just, sat inside looking at these cans on the wall for another year. It was fun putting on the clear coat. That was probably the best part. Watching that dull paint job really wake up when the clear coat laid and then flattened out. That was probably the best part. Would I do it in the winter time again? No, I would not do it in the winter time again. I had no intentions of this project lasting this long. If you like this kind of Subaru content, this random content, you basically follow my life and the projects that I work on and the trips and travels I go on, definitely consider subscribing below. We are working our way to 1,000. We're going to get there real fast. If you like this video, drop a thumbs up. If you've ever tried something like this before and you've learned stuff like this, drop a comment down below. Let me know tips I can do it better for garage paint jobs. This isn't a paint booth. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.